How many words would you recommend for each analytical statement? Oof, that's too precise. That question, I mean, I don't have a range for you there. When you say for each analytical statement, I mean, are you talking about the effect here? Like after you introduce the technique, how much should you say about it? I mean, it's just got to be something specific. The more concise, the better. Sometimes, like the best students, sometimes the very best students can say what they want in like 10 words after it. So they could say emphasizes the something, 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 and then it's basically done. And it's like, wow, they said everything really succinctly. Okay, so maybe it's going to be like take up another line here, a line to 2 lines, but it shouldn't be that long. You might start off with it being long, and then you've got to try and reduce it and reduce it and reword it so that you're saying the same thing in less words. That's the whole craft of drafting and editing. Okay, so yeah, a couple of lines, 1 to 2 lines, but be as succinct as possible. Just make sure you're saying something specific that clearly connects with the quote that you are analyzing. Okay, the marker's got to be able to see a clear connection between the quote you used and what you're saying about it. One thing specific in each sentence of analysis, and that's a good rule of thumb. How many techniques should I have in each essay paragraph? Well, if you're having 4 quotes for a 3 body paragraph structure, right? 4 quotes per paragraph or 12 quotes total, you need a technique for each of those quotes. So don't have quotes, don't use a quote unless you have a technique to go with it. And try and also use quotes that you can link to context or the form of the text. And you can see in the example here, see how we would get a quote that also links to the dramatic form. And that's because I would do it in a soliloquy, because the soliloquy is unique to a play, right? Also, so try and use quotes, help you, like, be kind to yourself by using quotes that you clearly can see a technique for. For instance, here I would use a quote that was personification, but I'm also using one that clearly reflects the contextual value that I want to talk about as well. So if it's patriarchal values, that's about kind of male domination in society, like the dominance of male control over females, right? If we wanted to talk about that, then I would use a piece of evidence that relates to it. And I would also make sure that piece of evidence has a clear technique like personification. So make your life easy by choosing the right quotes that clearly have a technique and that clearly link to context or form. But yeah, every quote that you're using at the start of the sentence should have a technique. But I also did mention that you can use quotes in another way where you incorporate it into your explanation. You wouldn't need a technique in that case. But let's just say, rule of thumb here, you need at least one specific technique per sentence, okay? Even if you're using multiple quotes.